First, I just want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you who have shown up tonight for your siblings and your sisters. And thank you to the Wellesley Racial Justice Initiative for inviting me to speak tonight. I had the honor of serving as a panelist during the reunion program this summer, and I got to see their work and their sincerity up close. That moment of fellowship was so good for my soul, which is why I am so excited to join you tonight. And tonight, I'm going to be real with you about a question that I have been asking myself a lot lately. A question that maybe you have been wrestling with too. And that question is, WTF? Seriously, WTF? I listen to incoherent speeches about colonizing Greenland. I read stories about federal cuts to healthcare, education, and SNAP benefits. I watch videos from Memphis, where I am, to Minneapolis, documenting the brutality of ICE and other federal law enforcement agencies. And all of these troubling realities seem to be followed by the same pessimistic refrain. Everywhere I turn, people are lamenting the death of democracy. I'm a divinity student, and even in my divinity school spaces and church circles, I hear people prophesizing with great certainty that the end times have arrived. And I find myself thinking, WTF, where's the faith? Where's the faith? Now, that's what you mean when you say WTF, right? Where's the faith? And I don't mean that as some rhetorical question. I, like many Wellesley alums, am ever the pragmatist. So when I ask, where's the faith? I mean it literally. Point me towards the priests, pastors, and preachers who pray with their feet. Lead me to the legal observers like Alex Preddy, who kept watch on the front lines. Direct me to the donors who are boldly or even discreetly in this moment defending democracy one contribution at a time. Where's the faith? Who do you hope with, in the words of Frank Thomas? Or maybe more precisely, where are the faithful? Because there is so much work to do. Now, like many of you, I continue to grieve what could have been either one of our extraordinarily qualified first female presidents. Yet I am also clear-eyed about what this moment calls for. In this moment, we must mourn and mobilize. We must wail and work. We must grieve and gather with folks who still have hope. And so, in the words of Minneapolis's favorite son, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life and American democracy, and to mark the kickoff of the Wellesley Racial Justice Initiative Action Network. Emphasis on action. My hope is that this gathering will help you build your own beloved community and introduce you to some new forms of nonviolent resistance. When most of us think of nonviolent action, we default to boycotts and marches and strikes, and those are essential, but they are only the beginning. Gene Sharp documented 198 methods of nonviolent action. And when I taught high school history, any other teachers on the line? One of my favorite facts to share was that the Encyclopedia of Slave Resistance and Rebellion spans 2 volumes and more than 800 pages. Those collections remind us of something important. We've been here before. And we already have the tools to confront this moment and this monster. So when I find myself asking, WTF, where's the faith? I personally turn to 3 sources of wisdom. First, as a daughter of Black Liberation Theology, I turn to Scripture. white Christian nationalists failed to understand that the New Testament is the story of a brown revolutionary who mobilized his followers against an empire. Jesus did not politely petition Rome. He confronted corrupt political and religious leaders. He fed the hungry when the state wouldn't. He chose solidarity with the marginalized over proximity to power. When I need to see where is the faith, one of my sources is Jesus the revolutionary. Second, as a scholar of American cultural history, I turn to the past. Our foremothers and ancestors and that great cloud of witnesses who held steadfast under extraordinary threats. And here's the part that sobers me. We are facing many of those same threats again today. In the book, Harnessing Our Power to End Political Violence, Arthur Hardy Merriman outlines what he calls the perpetrator's playbook. 5 tactics used again and again and again to promote political violence: suppress, dehumanize, distort, manipulate, and coerce. Let me run that back. Suppress, dehumanize, distort, manipulate, and coerce. But fortunately, Hardy also gives us the counter to these actions. When they suppress, we reveal. When they dehumanize, we redeem. When they distort, we reframe. When they manipulate, we redirect. And when they coerce, we must, so help us, Hillary, resist. History shows us again and again that nonviolence resistance is practical, strategic, and effective. That history restores my faith, and so does my third source of inspiration: lived experience. Maybe an experience that some of us encountered together. When I left Memphis at 17 and arrived on the quaint Wellesley College campus, I took a deep breath, inhaled the fresh air and opportunity. I truly believed that Wellesley was a sanctuary. Some moments lived up to that hope, but others shattered it. And none more sharply than the filming of Mona Lisa's Smile on campus. The movie is a romanticized depiction of Wellesley in the 1950s. And to my initial thrill, the college allowed crews to film on campus. As an American Studies and Theater double major, I knew this would be an epic addition to my senior year. And as president of Ethos, the Black Student Association, I joined my sisters and siblings in buzzing around Harambe House, dreaming of possibilities of being stars. And then came that devastating casting call. It read that extras should be, quote, not too tall and not too tan. Tan. Too tan for Mona Lisa's Smile. That became our rally cry. The film's attempt to erase Black students from the history of our own college while on our campus and the administration's initial indifference were absolutely enraging. It divided the campus, and it shattered my sanctuary. As Ethos students, we fumed, we cried, then we organized. That year marked my early training in communication strategy and narrative power. And I co-led public awareness efforts that included op-eds, protests, a letter writing campaign, and negotiations. I sat in the president's office. Ultimately, the production company agreed to hire Black students as cast extras and production assistants. That experience taught me something lasting. It taught me a deeper meaning of the word sanctuary. You see, sanctuary isn't just a place. Sanctuary is a condition where liberation lives. Sanctuary is wherever the beloved community gathers, and sanctuary is where we turn when the world feels dark and heavy and we collectively wonder, WTF, where is the faith? If you're wondering, where is the faith? Or even, what the faith we're supposed to do now? I want you to know that you have found sanctuary here. But in this sanctuary, we don't just fellowship. We put our faith in democracy in action. So welcome, my sisters and my siblings, to the launch of the Wellesley Racial Justice Initiative Action Network, a place where we strategize, organize, and mobilize. And in the tradition of the Progressive Black Baptist Church, I open the doors of this sanctuary. May all who are worried and weary find renewed faith here. Thank you.
Woo! Now do you see why I didn't want to take up any space? Thank you for those inspirational words, educational words, mobilizing words. We truly are blessed to have you with us. Thank you.